How you guys doing? It's Dupree Marcel, and today we have a history lesson that I think that is long overdue. History repeats itself, especially when you were never taught anything. But today I'm going to meet and tell you about that history and do it an introductory level. And educating people, you have to speak to them on their level. Why is this important? It's important because of the miscommunication that's going on between the Black and Brown family. It is a lot deeper and it has a lot of roots in this tiny little nation called Haiti. How so, Sam? We're going to rewind a couple of hundred years back, and there was this little period in time where there was a revolution. This little revolution by this little Haitian country went further than it just being a disagreement between two peoples. This revolution was so successful that it spawned the rest of the Americas and other peoples to fight for their nation's independence. Something very, very important that came out of that revolution was Grand Colombia. Insert photo. Grand Colombia under Simon Bolivar is really, really interesting. Grand Colombia is a collection of states that were once controlled by Spain. Simon Bolivar goes into Haiti twice, and he asked Pichon, Haitian president, to please assist him in liberating Grand Colombia from the yokes of Spain. Not once, but twice. The second time, the Haitians actually send their generals and their soldiers there, and they annihilate the Spanish, forming Grand Colombia. What comes of Grand Colombia? To the east of Haiti, there was Eastern Haiti, known as the Dominican Republic. And I'm going to take a pause because we will go deeper into Eastern Haiti in a full dissertation later. Get me over 150 likes and I'll do a full dissertation on that. But now, today's topic is the Panama Congress, or the Congress of Panama. Why is this important? You see, this little nation of Haiti had all of their revolutionary individuals go and request aid from this black nation. This little black nation, who saw all of her citizens as black, was specific because they understood that the race, color, and the concept of whiteness was detrimental to the growth of the country. Because, again, there was another little country, the United States, that most of us are here now, had a little situation called the Bacon Rebellion. Nevertheless, we're going to stick with the Panama Congress for our lecture today. The Panama Congress. It was an invitation that the government of Grand Colombia invited all of the presidents of the world at that time to Panama as a version of the United Nations. They said, come and let's discuss. Beautiful, right? Beautiful, 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 and everything. It's a new nation, and they're reaching out their diplomatic hand to the world. There was a problem. You see, the United States and France said, if you're going to do this, you cannot have the Haitians a part of this. And what happened? They denied Haiti the invitation. So, the Panama Congress, the very country who helped liberate you and make you a country, you denied it. And the reason why you denied it is because that they are black. Now let's dig deeper. Black mixed people with white folks are called mulatto, and there are different variations of percentage-wise that you find under the French, Louisiana, Sambo. In the English-speaking, you have mixtures that are known from the black and white. The Hispanic-speaking nations have mestizos, where they would mix with the Spanish and so on and so forth. So much so, this idea of improving the race is something very, very prevalent because it wants you to marry white. The reality of issues within Latin America in terms of their black populations that has never ever been addressed. If you do not know and were not taught, you can't hold that against you. Nevertheless, when information is given to you and you have access to that information, you must educate yourself. Being Creole, having the ancestry of both groups, it makes me have a very, very interesting vantage point. Due to the reason that I share my stories is because of my lived experience and how that lived experience helps mold me in my way of walking through this earth. Growing up in New York gives you an interesting situation in seeing the world and dealing with the world of the Hispanic way of living, the black way of living, the Caribbean way of living. Interesting enough, 1980 was when the United States made, in their census records, allowed Afro Hispanics the option of no longer having to be black. While the numbers say 14, 15, 13% of black people make the United States, it is different because of that Hispanic situation, because of skin color. Okay, let's not fool ourselves. This is what this is. And you have a group of people who can say, no, I am not black, I am other. This was really, really interesting because if you really get a chance on the Eastern Coast, at least, too many of us who were growing up in New York, they were just light-skinned black folks. That's really kind of how we saw them. Well, they're light-skinned people who speak Spanish. Even though they spoke Spanish, you were still considered family. You were still invited to the cookout. You just spoke Spanish. Well, okay, yeah, that's just a light-skinned person who spoke Spanish. Over time, it really, really developed into a divorce of the two until it was really, really distinct, until it was really in the face of us that we do not want to be a part of you. That's where history repeats itself, right? So the same group that still holds power has used you for your labor and no longer wants you here because your numbers have become too much. Numbers have become too much. There was a mulatto question. I will go deeper into this situation of especially for my Haitian brothers and sisters, on the mulatto question in reference to Dessalines. A little while back, Dr. Umar had a post where he said that none of the Haitian generals had white women, which was false. When there is a mistake, it should be corrected. He blocked my brother, and my brother had asked me to do this, and I will do a full dissertation, but I will leave you guys with a little bit of on that, and that is the Dessalines had a daughter named Celamine, who he offered to Alexander Pichon. She was a mulatto. Pichon was a mulatto. The union was a hope of bringing the black and mulatto people together. Furthermore, on the Dessalines narrative, Dessalines also had a child who ended up being the great-grandfather of Rafael Trujillo. Rafael Trujillo was the Dominican dictator. It's all connected. And I'm going to even go further on the race relations that are in our country and even elaborate with it to my Dominican brothers and sisters who have not the best understanding of a reality. And that is this. Enter photo. This is President Boyer, who was president of a united Haiti. And that is the name of the island. That is the name of the island, Haiti. Haiti. And Haiti is the one who liberated North America twice. No one talks about the War of 1812, which is really when they were ransacked by Britain. Again, that is another story for the lineage of the Haitian people. Before I get ahead of myself, President Boyer was a mulatto. Under the mulatto administration is who governed over the entirety of the island. The hatred that they have for the Haitian black populace is misguided and misplaced. Again, genetic-wise, racial-wise, this man is a mulatto, as most of the Dominican citizens are mulatto. Your fight was never with the black populace. That's a fact. Had King Henry not died, and he would have acquired Santo Domingo, very, very different administrations. Again, leave me 150 likes and shares, and I'll do a whole dissertation on that. The Hispanic brothers and sisters who have never come to terms with that first betrayal of a black nation who reached out their hand to you and called you brother and allowed for that space that you're living in to be your country. You slap that hand away. Fast forward generations, erasure of that knowledge manifests itself into the Black Americans who have experienced a horrific situation. Nevertheless, they persist and continue to fight on. Asking that population, why don't you stand with me? And many of them are saying, why are you not fixing the situations that are in your own country with the black folks? Here we are. You have one country who I root for in the World Cup, just to piss off my brother, Argentina. They erased the majority of their black population. That is some food for thought. Brothers and sisters, I told you guys that I was going to fight, even though it is difficult, but we need to have these conversations because the root of the situations that we still have are evident in not learning that history. The second president of Mexico, who was black, along with the first one, also went to Haiti. Also asked those black folks who helped them. And I will leave you with this. The asking of why Asian are not helping. There's a huge Korean population in Los Angeles. South Korea, during the Korean conflict, the Korean War, got help from Haiti. They got a whole lot of help from the Haitians. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all want a full dissertation, I will happily do so. But it takes time. And I gotta go feed my kids. And I got things that I must do. So until next time, this is Dupree Marcel, and you're plugged in. Like, share, subscribe. And I'll see you later.